It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Divas That Care. I am Candace Gish, and this is my program. Well, I'm so excited that you've tuned in today. We have a great show today. I'm going to be welcoming back a past diva that we haven't heard from in a really long time, and I can't wait to hear what she's been up to. Well, welcome to the show, Chantal. Thank you so much for being back with us.
Thanks for having me, Candace. It feels like forever. It's fun to be back on.
Well, I'm so happy to have you back on. Well, it's been a while since we've had you on, so I was hoping that you could spend a couple of minutes kind of reintroducing yourselves to our listeners and so that they can get to know you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Chantal White. I own a company called Equine Reflection, and the name really says it all. I think horses reflecting on what's going on within a human. And so I'm a certified equine gestalt coach. I do group sessions like healing circles out here at my farm, as well as some retreats and private sessions. It's really interesting work. It's powerful, and the horses are just such a great part of the process of what people go through. I work with all ages. So it's been lots of fun and growth in the years, just like I'm sure you can relate to in business. There's lots that happens and changes.
There is a lot of changes. Can I ask you how you decided to get into this?
Yeah, at the time I was a stay-at-home mom and always working in the evenings, and then once my kids were in school, I got into office work, which is totally not my personality. And I had done that for quite a few years and just was really feeling, a heart tug or a pull to do something different. I think my number one value is making a difference in the world, and I really felt called to do something. And I always knew it was going to be with horses because they've always been part of my life and something I love to be around. And I started researching the program. It took me about 2 years to find the right fit for me. But then I found the Equine Gestalt Coaching Program. It's out of Colorado, and it was just a perfect fit. I've been doing this for 8 years now. I can't even believe it. And so that's
Wow.
what made me do it. It was just a heart tug is the best way I can explain it.
I love that. And can you explain to our listeners what that is all about? Because a lot of people might not have heard of that before.
Of like the Equine Gestalt, or?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So equine, of course, is horses, or it's, it can be mules and stuff like that, but that's what that means. So that they're a partner and part of the process, and they're really a true partner in the Equine Gestalt coaching method. So they're part of the sessions. They have free will. They show up in the way that they feel they need to in the sessions. Gestalt itself is its own form of therapy, and it's about bringing wholeness or completion to life's unfinished business. So often, we have these stories trapped inside us, or these belief systems trapped inside us, and when we're able to bring them up and out and explore them, they don't hold the same energy or charge within us, so then we're not in a reactive state about them. I don't know if you've ever been around somebody who's kind of had this huge reaction. It kind of seems disproportionate to what just happened. That's often something in their past that's still kind of holding them and charging in their body. So we're able to kind of explore it and help them feel more whole and complete about what happened to them in their life, and so they're able to move forward.
I love that. And isn't that what we all need? Because there's usually something that we've gone through that stops us from moving forward. And I know I've had different things that have happened in my life that it takes a while to realize that that's what stopped you. And it's like, okay, and you're talking about reflection and working through that, and I really love that. And having animals work with you is just amazing. And I think I told you before that I grew up on a horse ranch, and always being around my horses was the best thing that really happened to me and helped me through my teenage years.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that's had them in their life says similar things. They really do help people move through a lot of pain in our lives and build confidence. And, yeah, they really are just great to be around in all ways.
So how have you been dealing with everything that's been going on in the world right now? Are you able to work still with people, or have you had to kind of stand back?
Well, I had to initially take a stand back, like most people. But just in the last few weeks, I've been able to see clients again out here at the farm. So we're outside. We're able to distance, and then I'm able to have small groups. So that's been lovely. People are needing it more than ever right now.
Yes.
It's crazy. I was actually thinking about, I just had a session this morning, and if I was to put it in one simple term and word is disconnect. Everybody's, and I think that's, that's from our stories and beliefs, but also what's happening in this world right now is people are feeling so disconnected in so many ways, and so it's really good to come and reconnect to yourself, to nature, to your breath, to your feelings, to your emotions. So many people are really in their heads right now, and I've recognized over the years and witnessed over the years that's a lot of fear state, right? So it's really good for people to be able to get back and get centered and get grounded and just find their way through this change, right? Because we're all going through a change, and it's affecting everybody in a big way, regardless of how you're handling it or not. It really has had an effect on lots of people. So yeah,
you know what? I couldn't agree with you more on that.
Yeah.
And I even see myself in that, because I'm like, okay, so what do I do? Do I take my kids out? Do I keep them at home? Like, I've never had to really social distance because we're pretty outgoing family in a lot of ways, but it's like we've almost become, we've definitely self-isolated ourselves. I'm like, this is not a good thing, but you're almost too scared to get back in there. It's like, what if? I'm like, I don't remember a time in my life that I ever thought that way.
Yeah, me too. And it's trying to negotiate how you feel through it all, and honoring people and where they're at with it. It really is a trying time, but I would say disconnect is a huge thing, and alone. People feel so alone and lonely right now. So yeah, like one lady, one of my latest groups, she says, I can't believe how much I'm missing hugs, and just to even be able to be in the breath, in the space, and hug on a horse was so healing for her. Because, I mean, I don't care who you are. I mean, I'm a huge hugger. I'm sure you are too, Candace. I can just tell by, our conversations. It's difficult. It's difficult to not hug. Like, my client this morning, as she left, I was just like, it's an interesting way to be, and I guess we're all negotiating the best way we can through it.
And I've heard a lot of that through this pandemic. A lot of people have been talking about that, and I realized we had adopted a dog right before when it's all happened, and I'm very thankful that he has been in my life, because my kids are like, you're smiling all the time. I'm like, I'm always petting my dog, and that's probably that connection like you're talking about, because I was always out and visiting people, but now I don't have that, so I have my dog that I keep with me all the time, just so that I have that balance in my life again.
Oh, absolutely. Animals have been just so good for people in that way, because we can connect to them and pet them, like you said, and have that, physical touch type thing with them. I know actually my daughter not too long ago adopted a dog, and so many people are going that route. Like, you can't even find a dog right now, because people are starting to realize how much they need something like that in their lives.
Oh, yes. Oh, I completely agree with all that. Okay, so let's talk about some of the other things that you do too. You work with people on weight loss and well-being. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was kind of like the starting of my like niche per se, or what I was really bringing to the table with people, and it has evolved. But for that, it's really directed around body shame and the stories and beliefs about our bodies and what people do and say about themselves. Again, that goes back to that disconnect, right? Because I don't know many females out there that start off with a positive body image, and society has taught so much. I was actually listening to a show the other day, and it just broke my heart. With the social media, it's just getting worse. All the filters and all of the things that we're trying to live up to an image, whether logically or not, that is near impossible. And it's really sad. And so for me, that really comes back to connecting to who you really are and connecting to your authenticity and, your soul, your being, whatever you want to call it. Because when we're so caught up and struggling with whether it's weight or our body, that's just the outside stuff. There's something internal that needs to be worked through. That's a lot of the work I do, is really getting people connected back to who they are, finding out how brilliant they are, and that their body is just an aspect of themselves. It's not, completely who they are. And in that, when they connect to the self-love piece in particular, the weight comes off. It's no longer something that they need to hold on to. When I work a lot with caregivers or empaths or healers, there's a lot of terminology around that now. A lot of that is protection, and that could be protection of some of the trauma they've had in the past, or protection from everything that they're feeling. Carrying around other people's baggage. I mean, I don't know a woman that can't identify with really taking over responsibility for other people. So there's all of that stuff that sometimes ends up being an aspect that we carry on our body.
Well, I think that's completely needed, and that, as a mother of 4 girls, it scares me. It scares me for what they're going to be. What they're going to take on in the future. Like, yes, the social media aspect is just crazy when I look at that. And I thank God every day that I try to work with my kids on that aspect, but there's a lot that I don't know, and they're not going to obviously share that with me, and you're not going to, but to have people like you that are out there and really promoting that and helping them through that, I think is absolutely what the world needs more of.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's something that I feel very compelled to do. I mean, I had my own weight obsession, body image shame thing going on, and I just realized how much it really controlled my life, and I didn't have fun. I didn't go out in swimsuits and jump in the lake and do all the things, and it's just crazy making. You look at some of these beautiful, thin, gorgeous. You wouldn't believe. I have people that I would consider models come out, and they have poor body image. So it's really not about the physical.
I think it's everything, right? We're just overwhelmed, and just loving ourselves is so important. I love that. I love what you're doing for the world. I just do. And you've got so you coach a lot of these. You coach mostly probably women. And how does that work? So if one of our listeners wants to check you out, how do you do individual coaching? How do you do things on the phone? How do you work with people?
Right. So I do a lot of things. Obviously, with the horses, it is I do individual. So that's one-on-one. They come out and they work with me. I have done mother-daughters as well. That's really powerful. It's interesting, the things that we pass down generationally, and it's so nice to see them work through that together, whether that is body image or probably the last 2 years, the main area of that I've been helping people with is abusive relationships, or either being in them, gotten out of them, but it's still, hurting them, that kind of thing. It's just... So, coming and exploring that even as a mother-daughter, whether it's body image or something like that, it's really interesting to kind of explore that and see how it's handed down and be able to change that dynamic and that story. I also do groups, like I had mentioned. So I do open groups, which is like a monthly healing circle, and anybody can come to. I usually allow 8 to 10 people. And then I do closed groups. So if there's like 4 to 6, maybe max 8 people that want to do 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, then we explore things together. And it's something so powerful as a group to hold space for each other. We can all resonate and almost heal from other people's wounding, because there's a lot of the same stories as women that we have. So I do that, and then the retreats I'm hoping to open up soon, but, I haven't really figured out how that's all going to work, but then I do some retreats as well.
Yeah,
and then
kind of
on top of that,
year,
I do. What's that? Sorry?
I said this is kind of a tricky year for retreats, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So for a lot of the individuals, I do like a combination of horse session, and then they have a coaching session with me over the phone. And so I have, with this new change, I have done a lot of phone coaching, and that's really a powerful way of people being able to explore things and move forward, as well as I do some group workshops and presentations outside of the horse world, just, going out and doing those things. So those are kind of the things that I offer.
Well, it's a lot, and they're really great. And one of the things I want you to share with our listeners today is your website, because you have a beautiful website, and there's some amazing photos on there. So how can they go check that out?
Okay, yeah. So like everything, work in progress. It's being worked on as well. But, yeah, thank you for the compliment on it. The pictures are fun. So it's Equine Reflection, so EquineReflection.com. And so they can check that out. You can join the newsletter from there. I send out a monthly newsletter. Check me out on Facebook. I do quite a bit of posting on Facebook. I've been doing some videos there of some of the patterns and beliefs that I've seen and witnessed in people, and just kind of talking through that. So I do some of that on Facebook, so Equine Reflection on Facebook as well.
Perfect. And I'm going to be posting all that on all of our social media links too. Well, Chantal, I've got one of the things I love to ask our guests is do they have any tips and tools? So do you have any tips and tools that you'd love to share with our listeners today?
I would say, let me think about what the horses would say. Number one, get grounded every morning. Whether that's through meditation, whether that's through a walk, whether that's through reading, something that really just, you take some time to get grounded in yourself, connecting to the energy within yourself and around you. Be honest, I'm just thinking of all the lessons with the horses. Be honest with yourself. Be truthful. It really does set people free when you start really asking yourself, what is the truth for me right now? How am I feeling right now? Is a really great way to move through life. And be willing to work through the pains. I think for myself, I've witnessed so many people, and I've done this in my own life, whether that's through people who do this through addictions or workaholism or whatever it might be. We often try to avoid our pain or our feelings, and yet when you actually just sit in it and are willing to work through it, there's so much freedom and on the other side of it. So I would say, if you're feeling it and you're needing help, reach out to somebody because there is such a beautiful life on the other side of it all.
I love that. I had so much fun today. I am so glad you came back and updated us with everything that you're doing, and I hope that you come back on the program again.
Yes, I would love to, Candace, and I really appreciate being able to do that. It's always great to connect with you, and I love what you're doing as well, sharing so much of what everybody's doing in this world, and it's great.
Thank you so much. Well, we'll definitely have you back on our program again, and I want to thank all of our amazing listeners that have been tuning in to the Divas That Care Network. Our program has grown in the last couple of years. As some of you have known, we have 15 hosts now for the program, and we're listened to in over 30 countries around the world. So it's all because of you that we have been able to expand. So thank each and every one of you so much. I had such a great time with our amazing guest today, Chantel White, and I'm going to be posting, as I said, all of her social media on all of our links today. So make sure that you check it out and you share that with all your friends and family. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that each and every one of you has an amazing day, and make sure you do something kind for somebody out there. Until next time.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.